Good day. Today's lesson is about illustrations of quadratic equations under quadratic equation and inequalities. So are you ready? Let's start by recalling linear equation. But first, what is an equation? An equation is a statement saying that two mathematical expressions are equal. Then, what is a linear equation? A linear equation in one variable is a first-degree equation. This means the exponent of the variable is 1 only. No exponent of the variable is higher than 1. Example, we have 2/3 t is equal to 0, wherein the variable t has a degree of 1. 9x minus 5 is equal to 2x plus 16. If we are going to combine or simplify the equation, we are going to have 7x minus 21 is equal to 0. So, the variable x will have a degree of 1. 4y plus 3 is equal to 10, wherein the variable y has a degree of 1. Can you give other examples? Very good. So let's proceed to a quadratic equation. What is a quadratic equation? A quadratic equation, or QE in x, is any equation that can be written in the standard form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. In the equation, ax squared is the quadratic term, bx is the linear term, and c is the constant term. The following are examples of a QE. X squared plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. X squared minus 16 is equal to 0. 5x squared minus 9x plus 4 is equal to 0. Note that the variable x in each equation has a highest degree of 2. Some quadratic equations are incomplete. Those are in the form ax squared plus bx is equal to 0, ax squared plus c is equal to 0, and ax squared is equal to 0. The linear term is missing, or the constant term, or both. Examples are 8s squared minus 7s is equal to 0, where it follows the form ax squared plus bx is equal to 0, meaning the constant term is missing, or your c is equal to 0. K squared minus 9 is equal to 0. It follows ax squared plus c is equal to 0, wherein the linear term is missing, or b is equal to 0. 1/2 x squared is equal to 0. It follows the form ax squared is equal to 0, or both the constant term and the linear term are missing. Your b is 0 and your c is also 0. Sometimes a quadratic equation is called a second-degree equation because the left side is a polynomial of degree 2. Quadratic equation can be solved by extracting the square root, factoring, completing the square, and the use of the quadratic formula. Get your papers and pen ready, for we are about to do an activity. Which of these are quadratic equations? So are you ready? You have 2 minutes to answer. Okay, so time's up. Let us check how well you do with the activity. Did you get the passing mark? We can write quadratic equation in standard form. Let us watch this short clip on how to write the quadratic equation.
Okay, now we are going to write a quadratic equation in standard form and give the values of a, b, and c. So take note, this is the standard form of our quadratic equation. Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay, so let us have the first one. We have n squared is equal to 4n minus 9. So, paano natin yan isusulat sa standard form? So, first, we are going to apply the APE or the additive property of equality. Okay, ano ba yung APE? Bakit natin kailangang gamitan ng APE? We need to apply APE so that the right side of our equation will be equal to 0. Okay, so let us have n squared is equal to 4n minus 9. So, anong i-add nating terms dito sa 4n minus 9 so that it will become 0? Okay, so isa-isahin natin. So, let us have 4n minus 9. So, anong i-add natin sa 4n para maging equal sa 0? We need to add negative 4. N. How about negative 9? We need to add positive 9. Okay? So, if you're going to simplify this expression, that would be equal to 0. Okay? So, kung anong idinagdag natin dito sa side na to ng equation sa right side, ganun din yung gagawin natin sa left side. So, therefore, we have n squared plus negative 4n plus 9. Okay, so simplify na natin. Of course, cancelled out na to. Saka yan. So, this is equal to 0. Then, n squared, positive times negative 4n is negative 4n. Positive times positive 9 is positive 9. Okay, so therefore, our standard form is n squared minus 4n plus 9 is equal to 0. Okay? Yung additive property of equality is actually the property that we use when we use the word transform. Okay? Or transpose. Okay? APE yung ginagamit natin when we transpose. So, therefore, the value of A is 1, B is equal to negative 4, and C is equal to 9. Okay, now we move on to our next example. Suppose we have 8 plus 3v is equal to 5 minus v squared. So how are we going to write that into quadratic equation in standard form? Okay, so we apply the APE or we transpose negative v squared, transpose natin to the other side. So take note, once we transpose, we change the sign. Okay, so i-arrange na rin natin in descending order yung mga terms. Kaya unahin natin si v squared. Okay? Next, we bring down positive 3v. Take note, hindi natin pinalitan yung sign kasi hindi naman siya transpose sa kabilang side. So, nagstay pa rin siya sa left side. Then, we also bring down positive 8. Then, we transpose positive 5 to the other side. So, from positive, it becomes negative. So, equal to 0. Okay, next is to combine the similar terms. We can combine 8 minus 5. So, therefore, we have v squared plus 3v plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay? So, yan na yung standard form natin. V squared plus 3v plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay? So, therefore, our A is 1. Our B, the value of B, is 3, while C is also equal to 3. Okay, now let us go to the third example. So we have 2n times quantity n plus 6 is equal to quantity n minus 3 times quantity n plus 5. Okay, so we need to combine first, simplify and combine similar terms. Okay, so simplify muna natin. So we have 2n times n plus 6. So therefore you have 2n squared plus 12n. So sa right side naman, you have n minus 3 times n plus 5. We can actually make use of the FOIL method. So therefore, you have n squared plus 5n minus 3n minus 15. Okay? N times n is n squared, n times 5 is 5n, negative 3 times n is negative 3n, and negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. So we now combine similar terms. So we have 2n squared plus 12n is equal to n squared. Positive 5n minus 3n is positive 2n minus 15. Okay? Then, we transpose to the other side. Lahat ng terms na nasa right side, we transpose them to the left side. Okay? So, once we transpose, we change the sign. At the same time, arrange na rin in descending order. So, we bring down to n squared. Transpose n squared, so it becomes negative n squared. We bring down positive 12n. Transpose natin positive 2n, so it becomes negative 2n. Then finally, we transpose negative 15 to the other side, so it becomes positive 15. So that is equal to 0. So combine all similar terms, so therefore 2n squared minus n squared is positive n squared. 12n minus 2n is positive 10n. Then positive 15 is equal to 0. So this now becomes the standard form. Okay, so therefore A will have a value of 1, B has a value of 10, and C is equal to 15. Okay?
So remember that before we get the values of a, b, and c, we must change the equation in standard form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Take note of the steps. Transpose all the terms to the left side so that only 0 will be left alone at the right side. Simplify, combine like terms, and arrange the terms in the form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now let us proceed to our last activity. Write each equation in standard form, then identify the values of a, b, and c. So are you ready? Let's begin. So let us check your answers. Did you get the answers correctly? If yes, well done. But if not, you can rewatch this video. So that ends our lesson for today. So for this week's handouts, worksheets, and others, kindly visit our webpage https:// jerryfrancisgale5.wixsite.com/mysitegrade9math. So thank you and God bless.